Now we're going into the grammar punctuation bits. Here we're going to begin from the beginning of the sentence here. We don't have to read the previous sentence. So recently, engineer Erica Frankberg of whatever university in Finland used the chemical blank to make a glassy solid. Well, first of all, let's check out some answers. We can automatically assume answer A and B are incorrect because now the chemical compound, right? This in answer A, compound is an adjective, comma, aluminum oxide is the noun. So we have an adjective, comma, noun, which is equal to a fragment. And then answer B, well, now we have aluminum oxide, which is our subject, to make, right? Comma, which would be a verb. So now we have a subject, comma, verb fragment. So we can't say answer A or B because both of these answers are fragments. Now I'm left with answer C, and now I'm left with answer D. Now, grammatically or punctuation-wise, I would like to say they're both correct. Why? She used the chemical compound, right? It's my subject, comma, and then my verb to make, right? Chemical compound to make. So here I have a subject, comma, verb structure. So this double comma, what does this indicate? It indicates to us this information is non-essential to the meaning of the sentence. Answer D removes the double comma. So answer D is telling me this information is essential to the meaning of the sentence. So now I need to think, right? Look at answer C. If I remove this phrase aluminum oxide, will I understand? Now, keep in mind context is important, so we read the previous sentence as well. Does it mention aluminum oxide anywhere before this information? If I remove this name aluminum oxide, would I know that the chemical compound is aluminum oxide? And simply the answer is no, right? We wouldn't know, which answer C would be incorrect. This information is important for us to properly understand what we're talking about. We're going to go with answer D. This is a verb-based question. So there are some steps we take with verbs. I like to write it as the acronym TOSIN, right? We want to check the tense, but here, if we check the tense, well, this is past, but the rest are in the present form. And if we check the actual information here, oh, okay, interesting. So we want to check tense, and then we want to check agreement. These are our first two steps to make sure we understand our verb is correct or incorrect. So let me just check this out here. In many of our landscape paintings from the 70s to 80s, Lebanese-American artist Itil Adnan worked to capture the essence of California fog-shrouded mountain Tamalapis region through abstraction using splotches of color to represent the area's features. Well, a bit tricky here, right? Because it's talking about the past. That's an ugly highlighter. And it's telling us that, well, she worked, right? So we need a past tense. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So let's check our sentence now. Interestingly, the triangle representing the mountain itself blank among the few defined figures in her painting. Well, if I do say this is a past tense verb, I would go with answer C, correct? Because right now I see 70s and 80s, I see it worked. So logically, I'm going to say it's in the past. But what problem do we have with answer C? The first thing is we check the tense. The next thing we have to check agreement. So what is the subject of the verb? What is among the few defined figures in her painting? What's the triangle? So triangle is singular, but my verb here is plural. So we can't say answer C because the subject and verb do not agree with one another. We also cannot say answer B because it's plural as well. And we also can't say answer A because it's plural as well. We're left with answer D. Is. So question number 19 is exactly like question number 17. And let's see, when you're able to identify or see these patterns, it becomes easier to answer these questions. So I'm just going to read it right here. Plant cell blank. Show that lipid molecules. Showed is my verb. So if we say answer A, we're putting an adjective, comma, noun, which is equal to a fragment, just like number 17. And if we say answer B, we're doing a subject, yearly, comma, verb, right? Show, which is equal to a fragment. I'm left with answer C and D. And so here in C, there's no double comma, straight. And D, we have a double comma. What did we say about a double comma? We said that this represents non-essential information. Okay, so I think of C, I think of D. Well, is this name mentioned anywhere beforehand for us to say it's non-essential? And the answer would be, no, it's not mentioned. That means this information is essential information. We're going to go with answer C. Now remember, although the punctuation is correct in answer D, the meaning is incorrect. And in the grammar portion of this test, if you have number one, the punctuation or grammar correct in two of the answer choices, your next step would be to make sure the meaning also is correct. Number 20. I want you guys to look at this because a lot of people got this incorrect. Researchers studying magnetosensation have determined why some soil-dwelling roundworms in the southern hemisphere move in the opposite direction, up until here, right? Look at the second part, right? In the northern hemisphere, the magnetic field points down into the ground, but that's an ugly color. In the southern hemisphere, it points up. Wow. How many independent ideas do we have in this sentence? We have 3 independent ideas. The yellow is independent idea number 1. The pink, purple is 2. The green is 3. We have 3 independent ideas. I want you to look at independent idea number 1 in the yellow and independent idea number 2. If you're telling me answer D, that's a run-on sentence. We have 2 independent ideas running into each other, correct? You have to separate them. Separate them with a semicolon, comma, fanboys, period, dash, or colon. These are your options. So answer C also wouldn't work because meaning-wise, it would negate it, right? So if you say while in, but in, so you're gonna have like a double conjunction here, which is a problem. And you can't have comma fanboys, right? Idea 1 or idea 2. Idea 1 is the purple again for the comma fanboys. Idea 2 is the green. You can't have a conjunction and a comma fanboys. So answer C wouldn't work. Answer B, well, again, what are you doing with the comma? You're separating an independent idea in the yellow, comma, with an independent idea in the purple or pink, whatever it's called. You're left with answer A. Answer A has a little trick to it, guys. When do we use a colon? When a complete idea comes beforehand. So whenever you see a complete idea here, right? Researchers studying magnetosensation have determined why some soil-dwelling roundworms in the southern hemisphere move in the opposite direction of Earth's magnetic field when searching for food. If you can stop here without causing a fragment, then the colon is correct. We're going to go with answer A. Question number 21, another verb-based question. I'm going to begin from the that clause, right? That, because the relative clause is like its own little separate island. It is no, probably, it is not. It has its own subject and its own verb. So that the shape, this is the subject, right here. Of each statue's ears, this is a preposition, comma, right? So we're going to ignore the preposition. We're going to just remove that, get that out of our way, right? Like the shape of a person's ear. Now, again, you see this double comma phrase? Again, this can also be removed. So the subject of the sentence is the shape. That's the subject of the sentence. It's not of each statue's ears. Why? Because it's a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrases do not affect the verb. Non-essential clauses do not affect the verb. It's the subject. And the subject can only be a noun, right? So the shape, okay, are, no. Is, maybe. Were, no. Have been, no. So it's answer B. Why? B is the only singular verb. A, C, and D are all plural. So the agreement here is off. Okay, so the location of though would drastically affect the meaning of your sentence. So let's actually read some of these parts. I'm going to begin here. Mathematics professor Grace Hopper was recruited by the US military to help the war effort by solving complex equations. Cool. Hopper's subsequent career would involve more than just blank. I'm going to do different colors. As a pioneering computer programmer, Hopper would help usher in the digital age. So I want you to see we have 3 independent ideas, and I want you to see, though here, the location of it affects the meaning. And so look at answer A, a couple of things here. Number 1, you can place though, comma, though, colon, this would work, and also can come between double commas. However, though cannot come with a comma afterwards. This is incorrect. A transition can, like however, comma, moreover, comma, but not though, comma. So answer C would be incorrect because a misplaced comma. And answer D would be considered a run-on sentence, right? Why? Because here you're telling me in answer D, equations, though as a pioneering engineer. So these two would also indicate a run-on sentence. You're left with answer A and answer B. Now, again, answer A is the best answer. Why? Because though at the end of the green idea contrasts idea 1 with idea number 2, which means what? Well, in idea number 1, Grace Hopper helped the war effort with complex equations. However, she did more. So though would contrast idea number 1 with idea number 2, the idea in the yellow and the idea in the green. And this is why answer A would be the best answer.